Hi, I'm Ada Hickey, and I'm a freshman industrial engineering major with a cello music performance minor. This is the point in my elevator pitch where I'm usually met with a little confusion, and people will sometimes ask, why the music performance? And honestly, because I felt like it. I've been playing cello since fourth grade, and music has always been a part of my life. I didn't want to stop when I came to college, so I added a music performance minor, even though it's not necessarily related to my major. And despite its challenges, continuing music has allowed me to express myself and grow my passion. Now, it hasn't always been easy. When I first declared my music performance minor, I struggled with imposter syndrome, but I'm grateful I persevered. In our cello studio class, we performed multiple times this semester, and I never felt like my performance compared, even marginally, to those of the music majors and the graduate student. Here, my peers were practicing for hours a day, while I was scraping by just to get 1 hour after all of my engineering homework. I questioned my skill more than I'd like to admit, and I almost didn't continue at one point. But then I remembered why I started and what kept me coming back. Music is a release. Yes, musicians perform for an audience and for the sake of entertainment, but what keeps us coming back is the artistry. Creativity and being able to express your emotions through art is the most freeing experience, and talent has no decision in that feeling. All that matters is what makes you happy. Now, by continuing my happiness, I have grown as a musician. The studio class I keep mentioning is where my biggest improvements have come from. I used to struggle with performance anxiety, which is odd considering I was a dancer throughout high school and never batted an eye. I still remember, though, our first studio class because my professor had only emailed us a few hours earlier in the day that we all had to perform an excerpt. And I had engineering classes all day, so there was no last minute practicing for me. My hands were so clammy, I thought I was going to drop my bow. And I'm sure you're thinking I'm about to break the tension by saying it was the best performance of my life. There was no reason for me to be nervous. No, it was a train wreck. I was so embarrassed and thought I was going to be dropped from my program right then and there. But I was proved so wrong. Dr. Ellis and my peers proceeded to point out skills I didn't even know I had. They gave me constructive criticism on how to improve and picked my confidence right up off the ground. Throughout the semester, playing in studio got easier each week because I realized my peers only wanted the best for me. The talented musicians I had spent so long comparing myself to cared about my success. When I had to perform for my jury at the end of the semester, that was the least nerve-wracking performance I've ever had. And I know it was because of the consistent performances in studio class that I got to that point. Ultimately, not everything you do has to have an overarching purpose. Other than that, it makes you happy. I don't know how my music minor will apply to an industry job, but the relaxation and the joy playing my cello gives me is unmeasurable. If you're passionate about something, do it and do it for you.